Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camp and Tactical Nut here, and I come to you with a little bit of a heavy heart today, even though I'm doing a knife review. And everybody knows, especially that knows me, knows I am a knife fanatic, maybe even a knife addict. But I'm sad. Why is that? Well, today I bring to you Spyderco Delica 4. Now, I love Spyderco. There is no secret with me of my love of Spyderco knives. Well, guess what? This ain't no different, man. This thing is awesome. Alright, just so you know, let me run down the specs like I normally do first. Alright, you got a blade length of 2.875 inches, but only about 2.5 cutting edge. It's a little bit, just a hair over 7 inches long, 2.5 ounces, so really lightweight. 4-way adjustable pocket clip. It is a lockback. Now, I never really use lockbacks a whole lot, but I tell you what, this one is awesome. I mean, you know, still easy to close, open and close, one-handed. And for a lockback, I mean, it's fast. As you can see there, it just whips right out. It does have the, what they call the David Boyd detent here. I think I feel a lot like most people. I don't really feel a need for it. But it is kind of nice to have, because if it's dark or you're trying to open it or close it while you're not looking at it because you're doing something else maybe, it helps you find the spot a little bit easier, a little bit faster. But go ahead, see you there. VG10 still. And I love the Spyderco logo. I think it's just cool. Now, if you do notice, two things about this. One, saber grind. So I do like the grind. All the other ones that I have by them have full flat grind, which I do love. But I really do like this saber grind as well. But normally, you know, as you notice here, this has serrations on it, and if you watch any of my knife reviews, you know I'm not really a fan of serrations. I just think if your knife is adequately sharp, then you don't really need them. But I was getting such a good deal on this, there's no way I could pass it up. So, yes, I would still, if it was up to me, or if I was going to buy another one, I would definitely get the plain edge version. But I'll tell you what, I mean, Spyderco does a really good job, in my opinion, with their serrations, so it's worked extremely well. Now for the steel, the VG10. This is the first time I've used VG10 steel. And I'll tell you what, like the edge retention, not awesome, but, you know, pretty good. I was definitely pleased with it. But it takes a razor sharp edge, and it's not really difficult to resharpen, so that really helps a lot. But what I do like about the VG10 is that it is very, very corrosion resistant. I mean, you can really get this thing wet, let it stay wet, and this thing is not going to rust on you. Not as good as their H1 steel, but I would say really, really good. If you do see here, it does have jimping, which I love. And Spyderco, I mean, they get the jimping right. I mean, they do it well enough, just fine enough to where your thumb just really locks in there, so you can really get down on this and really use it hard if you need it to. Made in Seki City, Japan. You see there. Now the handle scales, they are a bi-directional glass reinforced nylon. Or it might be a FRN, the fiberglass reinforced nylon. So really, really lightweight. Love the little Delica 4 in there, see? But the benefit you get out of the texturing going in two different directions is that, man, this thing just really locks into your hand. Definitely no traction issues whatsoever. Does have a little bit of kind of jimping built into the liners, but which brings me to, once again, Spyderco gets it right with the skeletonized liners. Even on a lockback, which is one of the ways of keeping this thing reduced in weight, and I wish every knife company would do it, or even sometimes not even put the steel liners in there. Because to be honest with you, with this kind of knife, I'm not going to be twisting. I'm not going to be prying with this kind of a knife. So, I mean, they could get this even lighter had they just left out the liners altogether. But they didn't, so, but 2.5 ounces. I mean, how do you complain? You don't even feel it in your pocket. Pocket clip, as always, done really well. I will always say on every pocket knife, I wish they basically all did the deep carry version. Because this one, I mean, it doesn't ride too high. But as to show you in pocket, let's move this down a little bit. It hides adequately well down there. But for me, I really wished you just saw the pocket clip. That's just my opinion. Because everywhere I go, you don't need everybody seeing that you have a knife. But it doesn't really bother me. So, just a improvement I would have. The hole, lanyard hole, I mean, it's a decent size. I don't ever really put lanyards on my knife. So, you could get, you know, lanyard on it fairly easy if you needed to. But I tell you what, guys, I mean, this thing has just impressed me to death. This is a knife that I will tell you, stop the review and buy one. It is so worth the money. I just can't even begin to describe. If I had the money, or if I wasn't a gear reviewer and have to keep moving on and reviewing different knives, I would just buy multiple of these. I mean, they're just incredible. I am going to try to start getting more Spydercos. I do want to get one with the H1 steel, just because they look awesome, because the performance out of them is so good. And here in the South, I mean, it is very humid during the summer and stuff. And I'll tell you, like, I went on a camping trip last weekend, and one of the knives that I took with me, just from being out there on an overnight, I was going to stay the whole weekend, but it kept raining really, really hard, and the tent I had wasn't working out. But when I came back, one of my knives was already rusting along the blade. And so, knowing that I have a knife that has a steel that is going to be very resistant to that really makes me happy. And as you can see here, this does have a really awesome 90-degree spine. Throws showers of sparks off of his fire still. You can probably see all the marks on there maybe from where I was doing it past couple of camping trips. And I mean, the lock back design, I mean, it's very solid. No side to side, no front to back movement. You can really bear down on these. I mean, it's not a like cold steel triad lock, but it is tough. I didn't try any batoning or anything with it because it is a pocket knife and it is serrated. Had I had a plain edge version, I probably would have done some light batoning with it, you know, processing some firewood just to see. But with the serrations, it makes that kind of woodworking. Well, it just doesn't do as well. But for your EDC task, this thing is awesome. It's going to do everything you want it to do. Cardboard, cutting open packages. I mean, just everything you do, your mail, your whatever, cutting rope, cordage, anything like that, this thing, awesome. If I can't say it enough, awesome. It's, I mean, literally, hopefully you can tell, that mirror edge that I have on it, it didn't come with the mirror edge, but since I'm getting into stropping and stuff now, when I sharpened it, I took it to the strop, and I mean, this thing just, taking hair off my legs, just, it was ridiculous. I just wish the edge retention was a little bit better on it, but I will take the sacrifice in the corrosion resistance. But yeah, I'm so impressed, and I'm so sad that I've got to get another knife and start carrying it so I can move on and test and review something else. Now, of course, like I do with the knives I really like, I'll always find a way to work it into what I'm carrying that day, because that's just how I roll. But it's awesome, I'm telling you. You don't even notice it when you have it in your pocket at all. I mean, it's that lightweight. It's really, really cool. Alright guys, well, that's enough from me. Hopefully this will help you in your decision to purchase one of these. If you're still watching it, I can't believe you haven't stopped and bought one yet, but get one. I mean, these things are impressive. As always, with Spyderco. Oh, and let me just go ahead and explain one last thing. Why did I get one with serrated edges if I don't like it? Because if you watch my knife reviews, you know I have really good luck sometimes of finding awesome deals. Now this typically runs anywhere from $50 to $70, or sometimes $55 to $70 on almost any site you go to. Knifehog.com. I got this for 25 bucks. That's why I went with the serrated med. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, yeah, I'll take a half price discount and sacrifice a little serrations. Yeah, in a heartbeat all day. All right, guys. In the meantime, be prepared, have fun, buy Spyderco. Take it easy.